If you are a student or a graduate and you're looking to build your career from scratch, this will be one of the most valuable videos you watch. Most of the things that you see on the internet, most of the things that you see on LinkedIn, on YouTube, it's all about how to get a job. It's all about how to write a resume, how to network, how to interview, how to negotiate your salary, all of these things. And whilst these are very important, nobody ever talks about this other thing, which I'm going to talk about now, today. And the truth is, this is probably more important than all of that stuff. And I think it was Warren Buffett who said, it doesn't matter as much about how hard you try or how hard you row your boat. What matters much more is the boat you choose to be in the first place. And what he's saying here is you've got to pick the right kind of pathway. You've got to pick the right vehicle. You've got to pick the right target. If you put yourself in that right boat, then you're much more likely to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. And I've seen this countless times with clients. I've seen people who have literally one of the best resumes you've seen, an amazing LinkedIn profile. They know how to interview. They know how to do all these things, but they're still not successful. They still can't get the right jobs. And even if they do get a job, they don't like it and they feel miserable and they hate their careers. If you get this right, you won't make any of those mistakes. In fact, everything will become easier. You will be able to get a job that you actually like. You will find it easier to get this job and you will perform better in this job over time. This whole thing starts with these three circles. And at the intersection here, let's draw a heart. That's your dream job right there, where all of these circles meet. So what are these circles? This one is interests. So what you want to do, if you'd like to do an activity alongside this video, just literally open up a Google Doc or a notepad and draw these circles out. And in this circle, start writing down all the things that you're interested in, all the things that you like. When I was doing this back in the day, I really liked things like technology, money, finance, business, startups. At the time, I really liked analyzing data. I really liked problem solving. I really liked numbers. I even had some silly things on there that didn't end up being as relevant, but things like soccer and sport. At the time, I also liked playing video games. There were tons of things that I had on here. Property was a big one. So just literally write out in here all of your biggest interests, everything you can think of. If you need to, pause this video. And the reason we do this is because when we get a job, we ideally, if possible, want to be genuinely interested in that job, whether it's the job itself, the work that you're doing, or whether it's just the field. I mean, some people, for example, they might love sport. They're just a sport nut. So if they can work for a rugby team, it doesn't matter if it's admin, it doesn't matter if it's in the finance team, it doesn't matter if it's in the marketing team. They don't care because they get to work for a sports company. Maybe they get free tickets to the games. Maybe they get to meet the players. Because it aligns with their interests, they start loving that job regardless of what it is. But sometimes it doesn't matter as much about the field that you're in or the type of company you're in. It's more about the work that you do. So you might really like just coding and programming and building things with technology. And maybe that might be the right path for you. It doesn't matter which field you're in, as long as you're building stuff with technology, you're programming, you're using softwares to create value for society. If you can get a job that you actually like, everything's going to be easier. Going for interviews will be easier because when they ask, why do you want the job? You can give them a genuine answer as to why you really want this job and it's a passion of yours, for example. It'll be way easier also to keep doing the work, to be disciplined, to keep applying to jobs, to keep networking when you actually are interested in what you're doing. So pause the video and go through, write down all your interests. And just in this circle here. Now the next thing is you want to write down all of your skills. I want you to write down all the skills that you have. And this could be skills that you've acquired through university, through work experiences. And also just think about what skills you have naturally. As a person, what are you strong at? Me as an example, I think I was always pretty strong at analysis. So looking at problems, analyzing them, breaking them down. I was always very curious, wanted to learn. And that was kind of an innate skill of mine. I think probably business/finance was kind of an innate skill because from a very young age, I was building businesses, when I was in high school, for example, try and find what's your unique skill set. Another one for me was, because I've lived in 7 countries and traveled to many more, I was really good at mixing with different people and different cultures because I had a really good understanding of how they all operated. But look at all your experience. Look at all the certifications and courses you've done, and look at who you are as a person. What are you uniquely skilled at? Because think about this for a second. Imagine you are now targeting a job that not only interests you, but you're actually naturally skilled in. Now, not only are you going to enjoy the work more, and you're going to want to go to work more, and you're going to be excited to job search more, and network more, and apply more, and research more, but you're actually going to be good at the job because you're naturally good at that thing. It's going to make it easier for you to get the jobs. If you have to do any interviews or technical tests, you're going to pass them more easily. When you actually get in the job, which is something a lot of people forget about, they just think about getting the job, they forget about actually doing the job every single day. When you actually get the job, you're going to be good at it. And when you're good at things, you usually like them as well. So you might notice there's some overlap with these two things. So pause the video now, write down in this circle all of the skills you think you have. So now we've got a big list of your skills, a big list of your interests, your genuine interests. Now, here's where it gets tricky. And by the way, I should have mentioned this earlier. This is very similar to this thing called Ikigai, which you guys should check out. The third thing you want to do is make sure that whatever you've got in your skills and your interest also aligns with market needs. And what does that mean? Well, let's say, for example, you really love soccer. That's your favorite thing in the world. You love watching soccer, you love playing soccer games, and you also have skills in analyzing data. Maybe you're exceptional at analyzing data and you've got experience there and an internship there and a qualification there. Okay. And that's where you really want to focus. But none of that matters unless people in this economy are going to pay you for your skills. So if you were going for a company or you wanted to work in, like, say, the sports industry in data, that actually could be a good thing to target, hypothetically. However, you want to go and check now which of these combinations actually aligns with the market needs. And this is where external research comes in. These two things are more like internal because you can just figure this out on your own. This is external. So like we mentioned before, you want to look for a job that is related to data but also related to soccer maybe, or sport. And sometimes you can't go super niche like that because you start limiting the opportunities available to you. Like if you say, I'm passionate about Manchester United and I love data. Yeah, it would be great to get a job as a data analyst at Manchester United, but look, that's going to be really hard and there's not many of those jobs available. So you have to make it broad enough as well so that there's actually demand. And that's where this market needs comes in. If there's just one job available in that field, it's not a very good target. You want to go for a market where there's high demand for that skill. So for example, I'll give you an example from this present day, right now when I'm recording this. AI is going crazy, right? It's the AI capabilities that we can see now are mind-blowing. If I was getting a job now, because I'm passionate about technology, I'm really interested in technology, I'm also pretty skilled in analysis and problem solving and tech, I would probably be looking for a job that is related to AI, where I'm going to be consulting or building products with AI. The other thing is, it's hard to manufacture this, but if you can identify some target jobs in the market, which are also have a low supply of workers, that's another great place to go. Because if there's a very high demand, just let's use the AI example. Imagine there's a very high demand for people who know how to use AI tools to build solutions for businesses. Very high demand, but there's a really low supply and this is a perfect example because AI hasn't been around for long. So the supply of people who can actually do these jobs is very low. So if you become an expert here in a high demand field where there's low supply of workers, it's going to be way easier to get a job, right? And if that also aligns with your skills and interests like it would for me, that's perfect. But what you don't want to do, like I mentioned earlier, is go, okay, I want to use these skills and these interests, and now I want to find a job that is in low demand and or has a high supply of people. Say you're going for a job in investment banking, right? From what I understand, investment banking jobs are on the down because a lot of the work that can be done by like analysts can be automated with AI, doing research, building models, building reports, etc. So if you're going to be going for an industry that is already competitive because everyone wants it, now the demand for those people is dropping, and also like the supply of candidates is high, you're going to struggle to get in, right? Even if you're incredible, even if your resume is amazing, your LinkedIn's amazing, your interview skills are amazing, your networking skills are amazing, you're still going to struggle. Okay, so in summary, you want to go for something where your interests, skills, and the needs of the market are aligned. Okay, and the best way of doing this is just go and look at job ads. Go and look at the job market, look at Seek, LinkedIn, Indeed, all of the jobs that you can find, and just scroll through, look at which ones are in high demand. And honestly, you don't have to just look at jobs in your area, look at global job markets, because a lot of jobs now can be remote. Basically spend a ton of time doing external research to figure out, okay, what jobs actually exist out here right now. Ideally, they're in high demand, low supply of candidates, and they match your skills and interests. Then that's when you job search. When you're a good fit for those jobs, that's when you start the networking. You start applying, you start building a great resume. Maybe you have a portfolio, all these sorts of things, and you just get in. And obviously that's a whole topic in itself, but it all starts with this. So I hope that was useful. I wish back in the day I had an explanation this clear, but yeah, that's why I'm making this video for you guys, because I think there's so many of you out there, honestly, that you're doing everything right, but you're just going for the wrong jobs. You're going for jobs that don't align with your skills, don't align with your interests, and there's a low demand for them and or a super high supply. So they're really competitive, a high supply of candidates. Okay, so go for high demand jobs, ideally low supply of candidates, fits with your interests, fits with your skills. That's it. Thank you. Goodbye.